The biggest party of the summer has come and gone. And an even more special thing for me about this event was that I was actually able to attend the show live at Ford Field. It was the first ever stadium show I went to for WWE, and I had a blast being there. The show has gotten some mixed reactions, and I can understand it. The overall structure was in the line of a B pay-per-view, especially with WrestleMania being extra dominant this year. But when it came to the show from an in-ring perspective, almost everything had more than enough to deliver. I'm Duke from Duke It Out, here to give you every match at SummerSlam 2023 from its worst to its best. Before I begin, please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more great wrestling content. Number 8, Shayna Baszler vs. Ronda Rousey. I was hoping for this to be good. The story had been built up very well, and also, I'm a big fan of Shayna Baszler, so I was hoping to see a dominant win from her. We luckily did get the win, which was the right call. She could be the top heel of the women's division during 2024. But the MMA rules stipulation brought a couple of cool sequences, but didn't seem to click at all. And it didn't help that the crowd was very dead. And from my experience, it seemed like plenty of people were using this as the bathroom break match. Let's just hope this leads to much better stories for the Queen of Spades. Number 7, the Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royal. A solid battle royal that had more so filler in the beginning, but in the end helped with having some great talent in the ring. But let's be real, the only thing they needed to get right was have LA Knight win this match. He is by far the most over star on their roster, and rightfully so. That pop when he won was maybe the best reaction of the night, and I was loudly cheering as well. Yeah! Number 6, Asuka vs. Bianca Belair vs. Charlotte Flair. This was still a really good triple threat, but when you add the amazing talents all three of them have, you know this match could have been a lot more smooth. Some spots seemed to get cluttered, and with it being the second longest match on the card, you could feel it on some occasions. It got good intensity near the end, with Bianca's injured leg and some really good spots to stop Charlotte's figure 8. And Bianca winning was a genuine surprise, but made sense with what happened just minutes later. Io Sky running out to cash in her Money in the Bank briefcase on Bianca Belair. And after one moonsault becomes the new WWE Women's Champion. The moment felt right, everybody went nuts, and Dakota Kai coming out to celebrate was also really cool to see. Probably my favorite overall moment from the show. Number 5, Roman Reigns vs. Jay Uso. The Tribal Combat main event has had over 3 years worth of build-up. All of the work that Roman and Jay have brought to this feud is terrific. And it showed with this match. You may think I have this a bit lower than expected because of the eventual ending, but not really. The beginning half was a bit too slow for me. With this match having no rules, they built up to the crazier spots where it didn't need as much build-up. This is a blood feud for both the Universal title and to be declared Tribal Chief. It could be a nitpick, but I think this really should have started off with a straight-up brawl instead of in the style of a singles match. But things kicked back up into gear very fast, with powerbombs on chairs, a Samoan drop off the apron through a table, Solo causing chaos, and maybe more tension with Roman? With some utter carnage and Jay bringing in all he can to defeat Roman. But when it seemed like it could actually happen, Jimmy Uso pulls Jay out of the ring to turn on his twin brother and cost him his big moment. It got a reaction out of me for sure, and I'm not against it. The Usos have wanted a singles feud with each other. But I definitely understand why people are confused as to why Jimmy turned. When you've got a title reign as long as this one, shocking outcomes like this could seem like it was done just for the sake of being shocking. This was still a great main event, and regardless of how you felt about the match, left behind some heartbreak and intrigue. Number 4, Logan Paul vs. Ricochet. Plenty of people knew this would open the show since Logan said he wanted to start the card so he could fly to his brother's fight right after. And even with that reason, this was a great choice for the opening match. Ricochet showed off terrific balance, good moments of strength, and always built up the pace very well. This performance from Logan seemed to be the one where he really dived into being a heel, and I'm glad he did. He worked the crowd well with the heat, and the buckshot lariat to the outside and moonsault / tornado DDT was really impressive. The brass knuckles finish made sense, but still felt a bit cheap. But it was a really good match, and sadly, Logan's got an undefeated streak at SummerSlam. God help us all. Number 3, Gunther vs. Drew McIntyre. Not quite the show stealer I was thinking it would be, but damn, this was still a great match. McIntyre getting some great counters and in his dominant moments got some very impressive spots. And Gunther really showed off the fear and power he has with brutal hits and showing off the ring intelligence brilliantly. What many fans were expecting from this were these two just hitting the hell out of one another. And we got that in the middle of the ring, on the outside of the ring, and even them just slapping the shit out of each other on the top turnbuckles. I do wonder what's next for Drew's future after this match, or more so whether or not he's going to turn heel. But the result of this match was definitely the right call, because now Gunther has become the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, beating Honky Tonk Man's 36-year record. And you couldn't really ask for anyone better to replace that spot right now. Number 2, Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Like with Roman versus Jay, I've seen a few mixed opinions on this match, but the rubber match for Rhodes and Lesnar was by a long shot the best match of their feud. Lesnar's dominance in the beginning was a lot of fun, and him consistently knocking Cody out of the ring could have gotten annoying, but they did it just the right amount of times to add the intensity to the match. Cody sold all of it greatly and really used the beating he took earlier into all of the moves he delivered during his comeback, even trying to get himself DQ'd. I know he wanted a different stipulation, but don't try to lose, Cody. But luckily, Cody did get the win, beating Brock in the feud 2 out of 3. Then, what apparently was an audible by Lesnar, he shook Cody's hand, gave him a hug, and raised his hand in victory. It was a shocking moment getting to see a side of Brock you hardly ever get to see. And I think it really did help make this match even more special. And funny fact, from where I was sitting at, I couldn't tell Brock ripped the out of his shorts. And finding that out when I got home was hilarious. And number 1. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Knowing who these two are, it shouldn't be much of a surprise that these guys stole the show. But I think after their match at Money in the Bank, I didn't think this would be anything extremely groundbreaking. But the further that this match went on, they were further knocking it out of the fucking park. I was hoping Balor would win, and he made me even more hopeful with this fantastic performance. Adding more to the story from their 2016 SummerSlam match with his overall presentation and repeating the spot that injured him 7 years ago. Seth also had consistently amazing counters, showing off his knowledge in the ring and how much he knew the work of Balor. But he also sold the fear he had of both Balor and the rest of the Judgment Day. Sometimes interferences can harm a match, but it added so much more intensity for the final half. It was incredible storytelling that added into 2 amazing near falls from both guys. They also booked Seth's win really well here, not harming anything for Finn Balor, but leaving multiple questions on the future for Judgment Day. I love it when matches surprise me, and this might be the most surprising show stealer that WWE has had all year. And for sure, the best match so far for this newer World Heavyweight title. So that was my ranking for the SummerSlam 2023 card. Please make sure to leave your ranking or opinion of SummerSlam in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and duke out your opinions below in the comments.